So boys and girls, here we are at Excelsior mine. All padlocked up, look at that. So once again boys and girls, hello. Here's young Mark and here's Excelsior mine. So we are going into the abyss. Yeah. We are going into the abyss, boys and girls. I'll do it soon. I think this is that breakdown actually. And it helps if I turn on my video light. I can hear a waterfall. I don't think it's a waterfall as such. Well, it's just water coming through the roof, isn't it? Yeah. So, you know. So, boys and girls, this was a mine first started in the, I think it was the 1880s. It could have been the late 70s. And then, as you probably know, this is the one naughty bit. It's not too naughty. But, and then in the 1960, during the Cold War, a group of English and American scientists, it's all solid now, tried to do some blasting that wouldn't show up on radar, and they used this. They drove this tunnel, furthered it into the hill, and now some people think these were ventilation shafts. It's actually full of water. But what this was, they used to place the chart inside there. It's a sphere cut out in the rock. They used to place the charge in there. Can you see here, Mark?
Yeah.
The cable used to run through this, and then these bolt holes, they'd bolt a steel plate on there, and then they'd use this rail, and they would put 2-foot oak beams wedged against the plate bolted there on this wall. Looks like that gate's open, but it's not. And you see, this has probably got something to do with it, these holes. And then they'd have sandbags, and then they'd go outside and stay behind sandbags, set off the charge. And then, when they came back in, they had big fans in here, further down, blowing all the fumes out. And then when they came back in, not only was this 2-foot oak beam in splinters, some of the sandbags were gone, but that door that they bolted on there was off. Yeah. And it was such a charge that in there, it turned the rock into a sort of a glass. And if you could get in there, you'd see it's all sort of glassified. But it's a spherical room. And that's where they did the actual blasting. And there's more of them further up. So that's the story, boys and girls. Operation...
one more thing.
Yeah?
I was wondering...
This is our air monitor.
We do have an air monitor.
So I'm like the human canary today.
So what's it showing?
29 points.
20.9, that's good. Yeah, Mark's the human canary. So here's the breakdown. I need to look at my notes. What was it called? Operation Orpheus. Yeah, Orpheus. So yeah, this is the breakdown, boys and girls. So you've got to just be a bit careful here to get past, and it is going to get a bit deep. By the looks so. Let us just. Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if we needed something a bit more substantial than even wellies. It's amazing, isn't it? We've had a week of perfect sunshine. That's where it's all come from. So it doesn't look like there's any more to come. And it's flooded. Why is it so flooded?
Oh, I'm so glad I put boots on.
There we go, boys and girls. Yeah, so am I. I just hope it doesn't go over the top. Needless to say, boys and girls, it's very cool in here. Yeah, but I wonder what that was. Somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
But that leads me on, boys and girls, to a subject dear to mine and Mark's heart, and that is cave digging. Now there's another one. They've obviously shut that off so stop people climbing in, but again, that one's not flooded, but you can sort of see the spherical of it, the sphere. But he used to the blast used to turn the rock into like a glass place, and this was where I suppose the charge came out. Well, they took it through that hole. So there we go. Candle there. I think people have been doing paranormal stuff. Yeah. Possibly. But I think this is what they used to use, this rail, to put the 2-foot blocks of, that might be an original piece, look, piece of oak that they used to, and they'd wedge it here to that door, but apparently it all got splintered and that door was gone. Although it was bolted. Yeah. Now we've got to get under this waterfall here, boys and girls. Yeah, so the things we do in the name of filming for YouTube. Getting soaked. Oh well, all worth it. So this is called, I don't know if I said at the start, this is Excelsior Tunnel. Often known as Excelsior Mine because it was first mined in the 1880s. They got tin, they got some other mineral that I've never heard of. But it very quickly didn't pay for itself. No. But as I say, boys and girls, that leads me into a quick story for me and Mark.
Look at that.
Oh, look at Mark, he's gone.
Full floor.
He's well gone.
Oh.
Yeah, you better stay behind me, man. If I go, then you know. And of course, we are cave diggers. We dig caves. And we have, that's why this is interesting to us, because we have explosives licenses to blow up caves, to make them longer. So, although ours is on a much grander, a much smaller scale, but you can see basically the tracks, because they had a rail running through here all the way to the end. Yeah. So this is quite poignant for us because we also deal with explosives and we blast rock. Although this is granite, and we won't be blasting granite, we blast limestone. I don't know what that is. There's some interesting flows. Yeah. So yeah, Excelsior Tunnel. I'll put more of a description in the write-up, boys and girls, but for now, just enjoy the tunnel. I won't bore you with all of it, so I'll turn you off and on when there's something of interest. Like this, what I'd call a flitch of bacon, but that's red, so that's iron, isn't it? So, but these are some stells, aren't they? Look at that, wow. Yeah. There's the entrance, boys and girls. You can see it in the distance. And here we are. So, here we are. Okay. Talk to you again shortly. So here's yet another one, boys and girls. Again, the spherical room where they used to set the charges. That one's flooded as well. And the pipes, and then there's the bolt holes again, where they used to... There's an actual old bolt, look. Still in place. Yeah, and they'd screw the plate to that. And the rest is history. And obviously that's what they put the oak beam onto. And on we go. piece of wood in the ceiling. I think, wasn't that for surveying? I think they used to use that for surveying. And there, yeah, look, there's a surveyor's tag possibly. I'm not sure what the cable was for, electric. What went on in there? On we go. Some original shot holes, boys and girls. I have no idea how far they got in the 1880s and how far they took it in the 60s.
What you call a shot hole.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But I would presume that's newer shot. There's another surveyor's peg. I think that's what it is.
What they wind it again?
They got various things: tin, copper, arsenic. Interesting. They had these little side passages.
Give some arsenic.
Yeah. But there's, I think it's something called wolfram or something. I think it was called wolfram. Right. They ended up finding that, but I think that was in the rubble they found it. But it closed down. They looked at, in the 60s, the scientists looked at various sites, not just this one, various mining sites around here. Looks like they were going to blast sideways, doesn't it, almost? Look at all these, again, look at all these shot holes. Look at this, boys and girls. This means a lot to us because we have to drill holes, but on a much smaller scale. But this, that was, I mean, that's what Mr. Taylor used to tell me how you blow a charge. So I would imagine this was the 60s. Now that is a perfect example of how you blow a tunnel. I forget the names of it. They've all got names, these shot holes. And I can't remember off the top. Funny enough, I just had the paper out the other day looking at it. But you can see where they've blown into this bit.
Yeah, you can see.
And then it's carrying on.
Drilled into the rock.
Yeah. There are names for it. I've forgotten what they are. I might put it in the write-up.
Pack the holes of the explosive charge.
There's another testing lab. Because they got closer and closer in, you see, boys and girls. I don't know if you can see the exit there. You can just see it in the screen there. That's the exit. And they just kept coming and coming and coming further and further away. It was, oh, that was it. It was seismic. They wanted to see if they could let off charges underground and not let off seismic waves that the Russians could discover. And they did it in America as well. So there's a bit of a clamber over for us, boys and girls. This looks interesting. I think it's all pretty safe, man. But, I say this is all slippery, wet wood, boys and girls. Wow, look at that. Nothing to come down anymore. It's all down. But still treated with caution. Now this might be getting deep now here, man, this water. I'm not sure. If it comes over your wellies, scream. It's only about halfway up my wellies at the moment. Taking this steadily, boys and girls, in case we get wet feet. I think I'm too far in now to turn around if I've got wet feet. Because they were hoping, look, you see some of the old original track, look.
Oh, wow.
Not track, but the sleepers.
Yeah.
Because they had a train running all the way to the dig faces. Seismic shockwaves, yeah. Oh yeah, they're right along, aren't they? I should imagine it was done very quickly. As I say, they had huge fans in here, blowing all the... I can see there's dry ahead. Dry land. I mean, we sometimes, in a very tight cave, boys and girls, we have used fans to blow stuff out, but not on this scale, obviously. And of course, they had to get back in here quick to set the next charge. There's a nice bit of granite for you. Very nice bit of granite. So, yeah, look, here's, I suppose they're preserved under the water. Very nice, the original sleepers. Whether these are from the 60s or older, I've no idea. these are drain covers, boys and girls. I'm not too sure. Don't know. They seem to be very solid, whatever they are. So these scientists, boys and girls, were from, I'm going to read this, the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment at Foulness. And they were hoping that the seismic shock of the detonation underground wouldn't be noticed. And it wasn't. And they carried on. And then the Americans, I think, had even bigger charges. But that's what it was. It was to do with the Cold War. But it was obviously a total waste of money in the end. Taxpayers' money. But very few locals, I wonder if that was one, very few locals knew it was actually going on or whether it was here or any of it. But it was a huge operation. No one knows to this day why they chose this place. But they did look at different sites. Here's a much nicer one, look. It's in much better nick. I think you should climb through, Mark, and get some films. And get wet and nasty and rusty. Let's just see if we can... Oh, you can really see the sphere. Oh, wow. And that is granite rock, and it's been sort of glassified. It would have probably been more prevalent back in 1959, which is when they were doing these experiments, not 1960, 1959. So this is a real nice example. Yeah, very nice example. Look what these were for. Cables, probably. Do you think? Running cables? So, more shoring, which is really nice to see. Quite that lovely smell of old tar and oils leaching out of the rock, out of the wood. I know we change a bit now. Look, it's sort of more circular, I'd say, than square, and it's a bit lower. A little bit lower. Oh, this isn't the end, is it? I think it might be, because they never got out the other side. They oh, it is. That's the end, boys and girls. The very end. So, like others, we won't bore you with the trip on the way back, but we will show you anything that's exciting. 1958, is that? 1958? No, it couldn't be 58. 68. I was going to say, because they did it in 59. There's someone there. Don't know if that's 1952. Couldn't be 1984. But yeah, so this is the very end of the tunnel, boys and girls. We have to turn back. So yeah, Excelsior tunnel. I'll say they never came out the other end. They were trying to get under a big tower and break into other mines that are in this area. Unsuccessfully, but we'll hopefully get to see some mines. Can you step to the side, Mark, a sec? I just don't know if you can see that, boys and girls. Hang on, let's just get a bit closer. Turn the light off a sec. Can you just make out that? Let's turn this off. Now you just see a dot in the middle. That's how far back we've got to go. That's the entrance. So there we go, boys and girls. Right, we shall see you on the other side.
See you on the flip side.
Taddy bye. Just watching Mark getting through the debris. Once again. Huh? There's the shot holes from the actual shaft, and there's the shot holes where they first started drilling in for that. Look at the bolts. That was the bolts in the roof for the sleeper to take the oak beams. Very clever. Very clever. Beautiful stalagmite there, boys and girls. Look at all the crystals in it. That's gorgeous. Oh, the way that light's shining off the flowstone. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Now that is gorgeous. The way the light shines on it. And you see the drop of water dripping off, and that's going to grow even bigger. That's lovely, that is. Beautiful. Shower bath coming up, boys and girls. Things we do for you, eh? Yeah, getting wet. Getting wet. Can you hear that, boys and girls? That's what we've got to negotiate. And me with the camera. Oh, protect the camera. Just go for it. It's a very hot day out, boys and girls, so we will probably dry off very quickly. There we go. Lovely stuff. I'll just we'll just light the place up quickly. There we go, daylight. A bit of daylight for you, boys and girls.
Some tunnel.
It is some tunnel. Or some tunnel. Yeah, it's the final breakdown, I think. The final breakdown. Over the top of the well this time. No, but I'm close to it, I think. It's because both my hands are full, keeping your balance. Oh dear. Slippery, wet sleepers, boys and girls. There we go. Safe and sound. And that's where it broke off from, look. Sounds quite ominous from here, that water. Wow. I mean, you can tell this is older. That stuff at the end, you can see that's newer, can't you?
Yeah.
But this is much older rock. Wow, look at this. What do you reckon that was? Water? Possibly? Water pipe? Who knows? Who knows? Lovely. This, boys and girls, an old, very old leather tether. Now I would say that is part of a architect's or a surveyor's equipment. That's rusted solid, but that's beautiful. That's leather. There we go. Oh, that's the first gate. That's why it's open. And this is the bricked entrance. Boys and girls.
Lock him in.
No. There actually was an old padlock on there. Yeah, you wouldn't have got over that. Those lovely stars. Look at all these lovely stars. Didn't see those on the way in. Beautiful. And there, boys and girls, is the entrance, and that is the end of Excelsior Tunnel. So we shall bid you goodbye. Remember to like and please subscribe. And we shall see you very soon on the next one. Say bye-bye, Mark. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you soon. Bye-bye. Here, boys and girls, is Captain George Moore's house, who was a chemist, and he oversaw the Excelsior tunnel operations. And this is what's left of his old house, quite an existence. And the tunnel's just there, and so he was right on it, wasn't he? Fantastic. So there's the Excelsior mine entrance, tunnel entrance, boys and girls. And they wanted it to drain the mines on Kit Hill. And beautiful place it's in. And it's certainly draining something. And here is a beautiful waterfall going down into the valley. So draining as it is. Okay.